Alright, let's look at some Buicks and Oldsmobiles today. Makes sense to group them together. Back in the day, GM used to have a series of cars that were, people used to call it BOP, Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac. Those are the three recipients as well of the 215 little aluminum V8 that ended up living a very short existence in GM cars, but ended up 40 years in the Land Rover line and a lot of other GM of Europe divisions and whatnot. Anyway, so there you go. We got, of course, being a Buick fanatic and loving 1959s above almost all else, except for some pre-war cars. Wanted to throw in my Huskies. This is the police version of the 1959 Electra. It's a two-door hardtop, so it doesn't make sense it would be a police car, but it is what it is. They didn't call it an Electra 225, just Buick Electra. Doesn't tell you what year either. So sometimes people call it a 60, but it's absolutely 100% a 1959. And the civilian version they made was red, and that's, I believe, it. I've never seen any other colors of this casting. I don't think they did anything else with it, unfortunately. It would have been nice if they reissued this in a few colors, and then later Husky turned into Corgi, which I didn't know recently until my buddy Jeff pointed that out to me, which in hindsight that makes perfect sense. Anyway, then we got this Tootsie Toy Buick that needs headlights still. I'm going to give that headlights at some point. I restored this thing because it had a busted axle and needed some little tweaks here and there. And the grill was all just black, and I decided, since they gave it all this detail, to gently sand it down and give it that, make that Buick emblem prominently show in the photos and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, so get some good stuff here. Rivieras, Oldsmobile Cutlasses. This is one of my very first wheel swaps. I got this thing with the wheels were missing somehow. So I grabbed these Hot Wheels phone dials, and I didn't care what it looked like underneath. I just wanted it to look decent from up top. Kind of gave it that majorette look. I thought the phone dials would look perfect on this. I still think it looks okay for what it is. Anyway, we got the classic Cutlass Vista Cruiser wagon with the two doggos in the back. This is a 1970, or no, 71. My bad. I do get them confused. They're so similar, those years. Yeah, so there you go. This is another wheel swap. I got this at Bill's shop in Milford, New Hampshire. It was sadly just sitting there with no wheels, and I decided that these wheels would be appropriate. And of course, because of the setup and everything, the axles stick out a bit, which I kind of like that look, almost like knockoffs. The Auto World station wagons are cool too. Love those. This is probably the newest car in the entire field here. It's the latest, the Riviera. So this one's a 1970, 60, what am I saying, 66 Riviera. I thought the Grand National looked much nicer with silver wheels, so I painted them. Took off the rubber, painted them with a silver marker. Put it back together a couple days later when they were dry. And then of course I've got a few versions of this casting. There's only one here right now at the moment. But this is the Grand National that has the removable nose. Almost like a drag car. I like this thing, but I'm glad that they redid it and gave us a normal one because it was kind of a bummer. And a lot of these, of course, in future years, and as time goes by, a lot of these are going to end up looking like this. You know, when you find them in yard sales or thrift stores, that hood's going to be long gone, the hood and grill. That's just how that goes. I've got to mint one of these right to my parents' house in Haverhill. This one's not mint, but it's still nice to have a vintage one with some patina. And this Oldsmobile is really nice. They should really re-release this casting and do a few more things with it. I don't know if there's been a Hearst edition, but it should be.